Hello again. Well, I am welcoming you back and I speak blessing over you today. This is such an amazing day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I am so glad. Let us rejoice in it together. Well, yesterday we were talking about a lesson that I learned about healing and that healing is a good thing. And we've spent quite a few days talking about just different lessons that I've learned as I've just sat in God's presence and continued to live my life the way He's designed it, but still focusing, what do you want me to do today? So I want to continue on with healing. I know a lot of my brothers and sisters deal with sickness in one part of their body or another. It could be mental sickness. It could be emotional sickness. But God wants you well in every area of your life. And so often we think, well, I'm learning something out of this. Well, you can't learn something out of sickness other than to turn your face towards God. And that wasn't His design. What He originally planned did not include sickness. So He can't give you something that He doesn't have. He doesn't have cancer, so He can't give it to you. So, another huge healing testimony and walkthrough that I went through was in 2001. We had just had 9/11, which is when the Twin Towers were attacked, the Pentagon, planes were going down with these terrorist attacks, and an all-out war was set. Well, I was working in a bank at the time, and President Bush had called for a day of prayer. And so that Thursday, we had a day of prayer, and I was just very, very, very fatigued. And I didn't know what it was. I wasn't staying up worrying or concerned, and I was just so tired, almost debilitating tired. And I was a manager there, so I was working 12 and 14 hours a day. So I thought, well, it's just because I'm doing too much. I took off some time and was still absolutely exhausted. Well, October 31st of that year, I was offered to either move someplace else or to take a severance. I took a severance because something was just telling me, and I know that something is God, that someone is God, was telling me I needed to really take a rest. Well, in January of that year, that following year, I was diagnosed with lupus, Sjogren's disease, and Raynaud's syndrome, all of which are autoimmune diseases that just your own body is attacking itself. Think about how demonic that is. Your body is set up to regenerate. You have all brand new cells in your body every 120 days. But my body was attacking itself. Many of you may be going through something very similar today. So take heart in this. So I now was saved, and my husband was saved. And so I go in, I get the diagnosis, and the doctor said, this is pretty severe, and you are going to end up in a wheelchair, and you will die with lupus. I went by myself because I didn't anticipate getting a diagnosis like that. And so I called my husband, and I was crying, and he said, no, you are healed by the stripes of Jesus. And so I put on the word and worship 24 hours a day. It was playing. And I continued to stand on the word that by His stripes I am healed. And in the natural, I continued to get worse. What does that say? Well, I thought, well, maybe I am supposed to learn something from this. Have I done something wrong? Maybe I haven't fasted enough. God, I was really busy. I wasn't praying and spending as much time with you as I should have. Is this a punishment? And he just kept wooing my heart and letting me know, Yvonne, I love you. You are mine. You are my cherished daughter. Well, I'm getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and by a year into this, that's right, 1 year into this, I couldn't even get out of bed. I was so tired. And I had 3 children at this time. I couldn't even get up to make their breakfast. I was so sick. And we're now into 16, 17 months into this. And my husband sees that there's going to be a healing conference at a particular pastor's church who we adore. And he said, you're going. I'm going to stay here with the kids and you're going. And I thought, are you crazy? I can barely get up out of bed. How am I supposed to fly, deal with the hotel, the shuttles, all of that? And he said, I'll take care of all of it. You're going. So he booked my flight. He booked my hotel. I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and the favor of God was amazing. And the presence of God was amazing. Nobody ever called out lupus, Sjogren's disease, Raynaud's disease, and it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's Saturday morning, and I'm going to be flying home Saturday afternoon. Well, Saturday morning, I just laid on my floor in the hotel room, and I felt this warmness come across me. It felt like somebody poured warm oil all the way across me. By the time that warmth hit my toes, I no longer had pain. I was on 19 medicines a day, and I no longer had pain. I called my husband and I said, I haven't taken any medicine today. I am truly healed. And he said, hurry up, get on the plane, get home. And that was in October. In November, I had to go back for the whole gambit of tests again. Every single test came back clear. At that point, we were still in Delaware. We moved to Texas, and you've got to tell them what your history is. So I told them I was healed of lupus. They said, nobody's ever healed of lupus. Let's go ahead and run the test. They ran all the tests, and nothing came back. Healing is God's will. It's always God's will. Even when it seems like something is taking a long time. Don't blame yourself. And don't blame God. Seek God for the answers of what you personally need to be doing. Before you look up on the internet, look up. He's got all the answers to everything. Know that he loves you so very much today. Know that we love you. We cherish this time with you. We're praying for you. Continue to send us in your prayer requests, your comments, your concerns. Let's stay connected to each other and to the